Hi everyone, we are back online, live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere in the world. For a second week with Rachel, we're creating a website together. Hi Rachel.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, for the second one. We'll try to keep it today under 1 hour. Last time it was the first time and we had to figure out how to do it together. But I think we are a little bit more organized for the second one. What I will do is give you the agenda for today. So what we will do first is enable the auto updates of the plugins in WordPress. Then we will also replace the little W in the title bar, in the browser bar of your site with a fav icon instead of the default W of WordPress. We will import a custom font because you wanted to have a custom font. You sent me some examples, so we will import a custom font in Elementor. We will also set some custom colors, create the template for the header, for the footer, and probably create the first blog post or an example of a first blog post and the page where we will display the feed of blog posts. So that's the plan for today. Are you ready for that?
I'm beyond ready.
Okay, that's perfect. So the first thing I will do is share my screen because I took control over your website, so I can do whatever I want with your website as
There
of
we
today.
go. Lots of trust here.
Yes, I can steal everything.
There
So,
you go.
and I will also remove my bookmarks so that it's not disrupting. So the first thing I do is I go to the plugin sections. As you can see, we have different plugins. Bot protection and Breeze were added by Cloudways that we use to set up your server. And by the way, to the people watching this video, if you start a trial with Cloudways, don't forget to put your credentials and confirm at the end of the trial. Otherwise, you might lose your work. I think that's what happened to you.
It is, but awesomely, the chat support was able to restore it because we built it on the trial, and then I didn't actually go and purchase it. So I just talked to chat support, and within 10 minutes they restored it, but they can only do that if it was created within the last 15 days. So make sure you do that right away.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. Otherwise, if you spent quite a bit of time on your site, it would be a pity to lose everything. So don't do that. So bot protection and Breeze were added automatically by Cloudways. Breeze, it's the caching plugin. Bot protection, as the name implies, it protects you to some extent to any attack like DDoS or other forms of attacks on your website. Then you have Elementor, which is the free version of Elementor, which goes along with the pro version of Elementor that you subscribe to and that we added here. And we added already a Yoast SEO to take care of all the meta data for SEO purposes. Apparently, there's an update for Elementor, so I can just try to update it now. It might be already updated to the latest version, but let's try it. Okay, it's updated. But as you can see, and I think that's been part of WordPress for the last 2 versions or last 3 versions of WordPress, you can now enable automatic update. So we will enable automatic updates, and from now on, the admin of the site, so I guess it's you by default, will receive notifications via email each time there is a new update of a plugin, and it will be automatically updated.
Oh, good.
If
That's
you're
helpful.
using, I would say, quality plugins, this might not cause any trouble, so it would be just fine. Bear in mind, though, that it could break the site if they are not good plugins in the in the setup, because let's say that you update a plugin and then another plugin is updated, but there's a conflict between the plugins. You can just kill the site. Probably in a later video, because it's a bit more advanced, we will look at how we can mitigate that going through the FTP to rename a plugin if we have a problem, because otherwise you just panicked, you're just anxious. Oh, everything is broken. What should I do? So, but there's an easy way to fix that. But we don't need to do it if we only use, I would say, legit plugins like the ones we're using. So there won't be any issue. So I've enabled all the automatic updates. So now we're fine. The updates will take care of themselves and you will receive notifications. Any question on?
Yeah, so Breeze is a cache plugin. What is cache?
So cache, it means that there are different types of cache. There is, I would say, cache, browser cache, and server-side cache. I would say that both of them share the following concept. It is that when people visit your website for the first time, they will see a version of the page, and some, if not all, of the content of that page, for instance, for the browser caching, will be kept in memory of their browser for the next time they visit the page. So the next time they visit the page, it will be faster. You see?
So it's kind of like a cookie?
Yeah, it's also based on cookies. So if you clear all of your cookies, you will clear the cache of your browser at least, the browser at least. But there's also server-side caching that can take place, and Cloudways is also offering some server-side caching. So in that case, clearing your cookies won't have any impact, and it will still be cached, but on the server side, so on the side of Cloudways. And you can go inside of Cloudways and clear the cache. There's one cache, for instance, type of cache like Apache here, varnish cache, that is used on the server side, and you can we could do that later. You can go to Cloudways and clear the cache on the server side. Why would you clear the cache? So if you're modifying your pages and you want to be sure that the user is served with the new version of the page, you would need to clear the cache. But you can clear the cache also for most of the cache versions directly from this. You see at the top there, Breeze, purge all cache. And you can also choose which type of cache you're purging, like the server-side one, for instance, is there. But if I do purge all cache, for instance, here, that will serve a brand new version of all the website to all of my users. So usually when I change multiple things on the site, I want to make sure that the new version is served to the user. I go to Breeze or another cache plugin that you would have, and you purge the cache, and then you won't serve an outdated version of a page to your user. That's it.
Okay.
But you need some level of caching, because it's faster for your user, and if it's faster for your user, it's better for Google, because speed is obviously a SEO ranking factor. So it's better if you have a fast website. So and you can tweak the settings of the cache. I would say that probably we would dedicate a full session to the settings, to the options of the cache, because as you can see, there's a lot of them. There's some interesting stuff, for instance, here, like preloading the links. So for instance, if you have links on one of your pages, on one of your posts, when the user will hover above the link with the mouse, it will already load the page behind the link in advance, so that when the user clicks on the link, the page will load faster. That's an option, for instance, here, preload the links.
Got it. Okay.
And probably here, this is a very common option called lazy load images. So what does it mean, lazy load images? When you load a long page on your website, it will load the images gradually when you're scrolling the page, when you're
Okay.
scrolling down. So the first, let's say, two images will be loaded immediately because they are on the screen. The user sees them. But the images in the sections below, they won't be loaded before the user actually sees them, scrolls down. So that way, it's also faster because you don't load what the user doesn't see. That's why it's called lazy load images. That's something you can usually activate by default. And then there are other options. And you have always to save your changes. Okay, so we have just activated lazy load images at the moment. And we'll just come back to that in another moment. So the second, so let's come back to plugins. So we have enabled everything. Second thing we wanted to do today, that's a little detail, but that makes usually a great difference. We only see the screen, so we don't see the top bar. But if you saw the top bar of the website, so above the line where you see the URL of the website, you've got the title of the website, and you've got an icon next to it. And by default, the icon for WordPress is a W inside of a blue circle. If you open it on your screen, you will see it. Interestingly, you've got the same kind of concept on Squarespace, where you have your website at the moment, but there it's not a W inside of a circle; it's a little black box, which is the default favicon for Squarespace. But we want to change this little W and replace it by something custom on your website. So for instance, we can go through Appearance, Customize, and it will open the site. That's the template that we had picked last time. And there is here a tab called Site Identity.
Okay.
Where we've just put like this placeholder tagline, save all the damn dogs, last time. And you can add an icon which will appear in browser tabs, bookmark box, and blah, blah, blah here, as you can see here. So what I will do is I will go to your website, because you had this little XORF thing last time. I don't know which size it is. It is, but okay, let me open. I will open. Oh, I think my screen sharing was removed. Let's come back. Okay, so I will open Canva, because I've prepared something there. So Canva, here we go. Voilà. Let's make sure. Yeah, it's open. So inside of Canva, I will upload your little logo that probably I have here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So that's your logo. Logo. And we will export it. So I just call it Favicon. I will export it as a PNG. It could be an SVG file also.
Do we do it as transparent, or do we just do?
Usually I do it with a white background, because then I'm sure that it's a white background and it's not,
Oh, true.
Messed up by everything. Okay, so Favicon. I'm coming back to here, and probably I have to change. Yeah, I have to change the sharing.
Screen, yeah.
The screen there. So let me change it and come back here. Here we go. So I will just upload this Favicon. There we go. Yeah. Also, we'll probably add we'll just add something. Before we do this, as you can see, you've got alt text, which is always empty. It's a good practice to write something there, the alt text. alt text was invented to originally, I think it was invented so that blind people could see the images. So so that when they were browsing a website for accessibility reasons, they couldn't see the images, but the alt text would be read out loud so that they could understand what was depicted on the page.
Very
So that
cool.
was originally the purpose of the alt text. It still serves that purpose if blind people go to a website, but it's also very useful for SEO purposes because Google then can know what the image is about. If you don't put any alt text information, Google doesn't know that this image is about this or that. So you need to always put some alt text there. So you have two, I would say, possibilities, two options. The first one is to do it manually for each image that you upload. Like we can do it here. I mean, Favicon won't really help, but if you put your name, then actually it's one of the images where you will have your name attached to the image, and if it appears on Google Images and people click on it, they go to your website. So that's the idea. But you can also do it, so we just upload it. Oh, and you see now here? That's what I mean by this.
Nice. Yeah.
See, obviously it might not be the best
Yeah, I'll have to change the color. Yeah.
So you could just do something like even black is fine, or like not a bright color, or maybe another logo if you decide to create another logo for the future. But just for the sake of the example, here you can see now that instead of having the little W, you've got your logo. And also, if people, for instance, go on your website on mobile and they want to save the website to the home screen of their mobile, to have a shortcut saved to their mobile, they will have this icon instead of the W of WordPress. So, but most people, unfortunately, they forget to set this up, and so they have the little square on Squarespace, they have the W on WordPress, etc. Or they have the W of Wix. It's nice for Wix, it's nice for WordPress and Squarespace, but it's not nice for your branding and for navigation.
Definitely makes me look official.
Yeah, otherwise she created a site on WordPress, but she didn't pay attention to the detail. So published, okay, so now it's fine. And I want to add a new plugin that will be useful when we will start adding more images. That's something that I add on all my websites. So it's called, I think it's called something like Auto Image Attribute. So I'm searching for it. Yes, this one. So I will just add it.
Oh, this will make it to where the alt text will be automatic.
Yeah, it will be automatic, yes.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So there's stuff that I don't use there. So I don't do image caption, don't do image description, but I'm using it to say that it sets the image alt text for new uploads, and what it uses by default, it's the name of the file. So that's also very important, and that's important for any website, not only on WordPress. But when you create images that you intend to upload on your website, just give them a name that's explicit, that means something. So imagine you're taking a picture with your smartphone. By default, they will be called something like IMG00162 or something like that. Don't upload those images like that with that URL on your website. Otherwise, even if you use something like this, the alt tag will be image 00162, and obviously it doesn't help you in any way. So you've got to give a name which is explicit to your images. Is it the word explicit, or is explicit just the thing for explicit lyrics?
No, it is. It's
okay.
like
it's not.
I think it works. Like something that's really specific and meaningful.
Yeah, it means something meaningful, maybe not explicit, because otherwise, it's different. In French, we say explicit, not for the sense of explicit lyrics, but meaningful, which has a meaning. Let's so to say. So you give it a name, like for instance, if it's a brown dog jumping, the name of the image will be brown dog jumping. For instance. and then it will use the name of the image to set the alt text. We might just come across a few examples once we start uploading images. So that's another plugin that I've added. And if we come back here, we can also enable the auto updates for this one. So it's all set. So the next step after the icon that I wanted to cover today is how to add custom fonts and define your custom colors. Okay. So you had sent me examples of colors. By the way, I might change the way actually I'm using this screen sharing and just go more like something from a window or from a screen, or instead of having just the tabs. Yeah, I think I do this. Plugins, Rachel Fusaro. So probably now, yeah, now it's better because I can just switch between the tabs without interrupting the screen sharing. Best practice. Okay, so you sent me this picture.
Yes.
Okay. So just to give me a reference for a font and a few colors, and I went to a website. Now we can see the bar. So now you can see the little logo in your website there. Maybe.
That's cool.
So this website, it's one of multiple websites where you can do that. html-color-codes.info. You just upload an image. I uploaded the image that you sent me, and then if you just focus on one of the areas there, you will get the Xcode for the HTML code for the color. So we will use them later. And also what I did, I went to a site where I could download the Roca font, and I will also share something on my screen here. I went to another website because I had just details, but I had what we call the TTF version of that. So I went to this website, I uploaded the font, so I might do it again. Okay, so Rachel website, that was the font. And one of them, I just picked one of them. I think I picked Roca 1 LTTTF, this one. And then I said, okay, I want to have the optimal version of the web font. I say, yes, I can do that.
And this is free? Or?
Yes. Wow. And then I downloaded. I found a website where the font was available. It was not a cracked version of the font, so apparently I could use it. But obviously, always make sure that you can use the font. And then I came here just to get the web font, the WOF, the web font version of the font that we can use on your website. So now I go to Elementor. I go to custom font, and I will add my first custom font. Theoretically, it will work because I rehearsed that on Sunday. So, and I removed it afterwards. So we call it Roca 1, for instance, and I will add a font variation. So I will add just the web open font format here that I got from this manipulation on Font Squirrel. So,
and I found, for those watching, I've personally found those fonts using Canva. And then what you're doing is you took those and you found a free version that we're allowed to use that's website ready. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't website ready directly. I went to the website fontsquirrel.com to generate those WOFF and WOFF2 versions. And now I'm uploading both of them to the site. So one there, and the other one would be the 2. Let's do it like this. The 2 here. Okay. Oh, I already had it the other day, so that's why it's twice for my test. And now I will publish it. Okay. And as you can see, I've got the preview. If you have the preview here, which looks like the font, it's okay. It means that you're on the right track. But it's this one is the light version. So let's say that we have the light version like this, and maybe no. Let's do it more like that because it's a variation. So this is the normal weight, let's say, and I think we add in the original thing the other version, which is like more like a black.
Yeah, the black or bold almost.
Yeah, more like this thing, but not italic. Like this thing. Oh, you can see my screen or no? No, you can't. No. You just you don't see the pop-ups. Okay, but that's the one. So now.
Yes, that's it. I see it.
That's the black one. Yeah. So now I'm just doing the black one, and I will also get a zip. Okay, and let me open this in my other. Okay, put there. Okay, and this and that. Okay, so I'm coming back now to the website, and I will add a new variation. So the new variation would be. I'm just wondering if. Oh no, okay. You don't see actually my Finder, but that's fine. That's perfect. It's even better in a way. Okay, so I'm uploading the first one, WOFF. Okay, and I will upload the second one, the OFF2. There we go. That's it. You could upload other versions also, the SVG or the original TTF, but to make sure it works, you need the web font one, the first two ones. Okay. So the weight would be bold for this one.
Will I ever need to upload the SVG TTF, or can I just not?
No, you can just use those ones for the site. You just need the web version. So now we have two custom fonts. The normal one, I mean, I call it the normal one, the thin one, and the bold one. And they will be added to the fonts available inside of Elementor. We can prove it directly by going to the homepage of our site. And we've got a big text there. So if I go to Edit with Elementor, so I open Elementor. That would be also a good segue for the next bit because we will set the colors then. So if I go to this section, so as you can see, it's a headline. Yeah, it's called title. It's headline. If I go to style, and if I go to typography, and to the family here, and I type, I already have there actually Roca one.
Oh, there you go.
See? And that's it. It's there.
There. And can you change the boldness to light versus?
Yeah, you could. I mean, if I go to normal, it will take. As you see, it's the normal one. If I go to bold, it will be the bold one. At the moment, we are sure that we have two variants. We have the normal one and the bold one. If we wanted to have more of them, in the original file that I have multiple, let's say, thresholds of bold and also the italic ones, so the, on the side italic ones. So yeah, so here oblique, called oblique in English, or italic, sorry, in English.
Italic.
But yeah, it does it, but if you don't have the font that's supposed to do it, it's applying a modification on font, and it might not work all the time. So you need theoretically to have a variant of the font inside of the custom fonts for each of the bold thresholds that you want to apply if you want. But for the demo, we have two versions. We have the normal one, like this one, and the bold one, this one. And I think it's fine because if I remember well, you wanted to use something else also, maybe pop-ins for the body. Okay,
Yes.
so we will set that. So we've set the custom font. That's fine. So next thing that I
Looks
wanted
great.
to do is go. I mean, the custom font that we have added to Elementor. The next step for us is to set the default fonts that we will use, okay, and the default colors that we will use in Elementor. For that, we go to the burger menu here at the top left, and we have the site levels settings, so site settings. And here we have the global colors and the global fonts, okay? So if I go to global fonts, and I've got different fonts there. I can say, for instance, that the primary font would be Roca 1. And let's say, I think the primary, if I'm not mistaken, is the one for
It's
the
like header.
For the header, yeah. For the text, we will choose pop-ins. Yeah, okay. It's not changing at the moment, but I should do in a moment. Okay, the accent one, we do pop-in also. Accent one is for specific purposes, but okay, and secondary. Actually, you know what? I'm not exactly sure of this, but okay, let's try it and see what we have here.
Okay.
When I say I'm not sure that primary means the heading,
The
but
header.
okay, let's see here.
We'll find out.
Yeah. So default. Okay, we've got the first one, which is default. Okay, default is definitely pop-ins. That's changed here in pop-ins, so that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, and let's see for the header here what we have. Default. Let's say that we switch back to IL. Okay, and then we switch back to default. Now it seems that actually primary is what I meant. So primary is the headline apparently, and the text here, the body, is now in pop-ins. Okay, so we switch back to the site settings, because I wanted to do the colors too. So the global colors. Okay, nice. So it's the same concept. So you can choose up to 4 colors that you can easily recall inside of Elementor. So instead of, when you're on a section, systematically
and manually
pick a custom color, a specific color, you will have like 4 swatches. Yeah, that's the name in English, with the preset colors, and that's the default presets of Elementor, like the accent for a button, for instance, in green, like the text in this light gray, and by default the headline in this bluish color. If we come back to here, let's say, and we might change this in the future, but let's say that we want to have, I'm just trying to see if it changes. Yeah, okay, I've got to double click. Let's say that we want to use this green as the default one. Okay, we just go there, change this to the green, okay, and set it there. And I would just take one like the blue here for the button, and after the recording we might change this, but just to show to the audience and to you how to set them. Okay, I will keep the other ones the same. So now if I come back to the editor, everything that has already been set won't change. So you see it doesn't change at the moment, this headline. But if I go to style and to the color, now I have my, you see, access to
so I can click.
So you can just click on this, and the next time you create a title, you see, so if I take a title, I create a new title, by default it will be green.
Oh.
So I will remove this guy here because otherwise we don't see exactly what I do. But if I do this again, so I just take my title, I put my title there. You see, it's by default that.
Yeah. Well, and that makes it easy to keep everything on brand,
on brand,
following
yes.
the same color. Yeah.
Yeah, consistent. So
Oh,
and it's fast because it adds the color and the font directly as it was set in the default settings of the website. So you don't have to think about this. Obviously, you have to make the right choices, but you can also change them later. So if you change the default primary color for the new headlines, the new titles that you would create, it would use the new color. So it's not set in stone forever. So you can obviously change it, and you can edit anything. So if this specific headline, for instance, I want to have it not in green, but for instance in blue, I put it in blue, or even I just want it in red, I can have it in red. But I have direct access to 4 swatches with the 4 colors, so that's a good one. So also, if we go to typography, you obviously have many different settings for the typography. Pixels, the weight. So now it was by default bold because that was the default for this. But for headline, actually it's a default, but we could go to normal, and as you can see, it would be the thin version.
Oh, wow.
So we can change it. We can decide to put it all uppercase if we want, like this, all lowercase, capitalize the first word. That's usually what you do for a title in English.
Yeah.
So you can also do that, and you could also do that as a default setting. So what I'm doing right here manually for this specific one, I could also set it for all, let's say, the H2, for instance. Usually, H2, H1, what is it? Usually the most important headline on your website is H1.
Right.
So
For SEO.
For SEO, yeah, the first one that you will have on the side that basically gives you the overall topic of your page, that would be the H1. At the moment on this page, there was nothing set in H1, but let's say we put it in H1, and as you can see, also Elementor by default will make the H1 bigger than the H2. The H3 will be smaller than the H2. The H4 will be even. You see that there's also this logic of they get smaller. You can also tweak that. You can say all of them have to be the same size, but by default, H1 is the big one, and H2 is smaller, and so on and so forth. So so we can set it to H1. If you want to be, I would say, if you want something more bigger than that, you can always go to style, to typography, and decide to change the size. You have 2 main ways to change the size: either setting pixel size or EM size, like this. Usually you've got, if you do 3 EM, 4 EM, you see,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
you can change this one, for instance.
Will all of this be responsive in mobile form?
Yeah, so if you click on the little preview here, and you click on the mobile, you see it's there. And you already see some of the things that I would say might be a problem if you're using a preset template and you've got to reverse engineer the logic of the template. You see that the lady here and the text, there is some padding on the right, and so yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that. Yeah.
So you see that there's some stuff that it's easier sometimes when you create a page from scratch and you do all your things on your own. But for the sake of the demo, again, we have here the title. So, but let's say that it was fine on desktop. On desktop, you were on 2 lines, let's say, and you find it great, perfect. But you go on mobile and you say, why would I have the word add alone on one line? Your heading text, it's a bit nonsense. So you can set a different size specifically for mobiles. That's a good thing. So as you can see, you've got three what we call in design break points, different screen sizes by default.
Okay.
And you can add also custom breakpoints if you want, but we have desktop, tablet, and mobile. And when you switch the preview, it will change the little icon next to size, for instance. And you can say on mobile, I want to have it 2 or 3M like this. So you see, let's say 2 to have on
Yeah.
2 lines. And you can also decide that on mobile, where was it? Here, you want to center it on mobile, for instance. You see? Whereas
Yeah.
on desktop, you're fine with the left justification like this. So you can tweak everything in Elementor at the breakpoint level. So to have a different look design on desktop, tablet, and mobile. You cannot change you cannot directly change the content. As you can see, next to the word title, there is no little icon of a desktop, tablet, or mobile. So you cannot say, I want to have here desktop text, and then if I go to mobile, I say it's still desktop text. But obviously there is a hack. You can do you can set a different text. How do you do that? I didn't plan to show this now, but let's do this. So okay, we will just duplicate the element. So we will right click on the little pen there, and we duplicate the element. So we have twice desktop text at the moment, as you can see. I will call the second one mobile text. Okay. And what I will do, I click on the desktop text. I go to the advanced settings here, advanced, and I go to responsive, and I hide it on mobile.
Got it.
Okay. So, and this one, the second one, I do the opposite.
Hide it on desktop.
I hide it on desktop and on tablet, let's say also, because otherwise on tablet we both. But you could have a tablet text if you wanted. But okay. So now if I go update that, might not be obvious directly here, because we will have in the preview we will kind of see both. You see, we have desktop text, mobile text. Oh, I did something
there
bad.
You go.
So you see grayed out, it's something that will not appear, okay?
Right.
And the green one will appear. But we could be even more, let's say, make it even more obvious for those watching. So if you are in Chrome, you see on desktop text.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if you really want to see the preview on a specific mobile device, what you do in Chrome, you right click, you do inspect here, inspect, boom. And then here, you will get, maybe this section at the bottom will be on the right-hand side. But if you click on the icon with the devices here, it gives you a menu here at the top. And you can choose to say, okay, I want to see this on an iPhone 11 Pro. And as you can see on the iPhone,
only.
it's mobile.
That's cool.
Or you can choose to see this thing on an iPad mini, and then you've got the desktop text like that. You see, so that's how the best way to preview a website on different devices in Chrome is to do what I've just done. So right click, inspect, and then activate the device preview, and then you've got different options here. And you can also, in the responsive one, you can simulate, you see, different sizes directly with your mouse like this. So if we go to mobile, and also, I mean, the best way to do it is to open your website in incognito mode and do this in incognito mode, so that you're sure that it's like something fresh, the freshest version you can get of your website being displayed. But that's a good practice to just have a look at how your website looks on different screen sizes like this.
I didn't know you could do that, so that's really cool.
Yeah. So we've set the 2 custom fonts. We've set some custom colors. We've even shown things that were not planned, i.e., how to display a different text or a different section, I would say, on mobile and desktop. For instance, if you don't want to show this an image, like I mean, here I think she's in the background. Actually, it's not an image; she's in the background. But you could say, I don't want to see this section on mobile, for instance. So you can also apply the same kind of rules to a column. So if I go to the column, not because as you can see, the lady here, she's not an image inserted in the column. She is the background of the column. You see?
Right.
If you go in style, she's the background of the column. There's a reason why they chose to do it that way. It's because then it fills the whole column, if you want, with the cover here option in the background. Whereas if she was an image inserted in the column, she would not fill the whole space of the background. So sometimes it's better to use an image as a background of a column, which is empty. There's nothing in the column besides it's transparent, if you want. We just see the background. The other option is to put the lady in the column. So let's imagine. Okay, let me show you why it makes a difference. So I remove her from the column. So now the column is empty, and I go to my modules here. So the 9 squares there, and I decide to drag an image inside of the column. So I've got an image empty. I choose the same lady, this one, okay. And as you can see, she doesn't fill all the space of the column. Right. You could say, okay, let's pretend that we put in the background of the column white background, but you see, it's not the same because it's the color.
A little bit of gradient,
Then you could go and say, oh yeah, but I just use a pen and I import the thing and I try, to make it, but yeah, that's a mess because you will never be, if it's a gradient, totally the same.
It won't look as professional. And with the bottom of her picture too, it's
and the bottom, she's like suspended mid-air, like in the column. And if you go on mobile, also you see there's a lot of space there, so it's not what you want. So that's why for this column specifically, they chose to say, okay, we wanna have this lady as the background of the column, and here you've got different options. Usually the one that really needs to be set is the no repeat, because if you repeat her, here it won't. But if the image is really small, it will repeat the lady multiple times in the column. So you want no repeat. And then, as you can see, you've got different versions here. Usually, if you want to have this effect that the background really covers the whole area responsively, you do cover. Otherwise, if you do contain, you end up with the same thing that we had by adding the image. It would be contained inside of the column, but it will leave blank space up and down. So you need to do cover like this. And this way, if you go on the tablet, obviously there you might need to change the X and the Y position. You see, that's where you can tweak also, because by default their design didn't really work on tablet, because she was at 0, as you can see, she was there, not good.
So cut off her head.
So you can change for the tablet specifically the Y position, so the vertical position, okay, which won't be changed for the desktop. And if we go on mobile, there she's okay. I mean, we could maybe even no repeat, attachment, display side, okay, cover, no repeat, and the position we could do also custom, the same, and we could also move her, but we won't. We'll just keep it default. Right. But I wanted first to demo. My first intention was to demo that you can apply the same rule here if you don't want to show her on mobile, because on mobile you might say, that's great, she's there, but I want to get the text directly, because I want to get the information directly.
Right.
So actually, there are different ways to approach this. You could also invert the columns on mobile, but let's say that you want to not display this on mobile. You go to advanced, responsive, hide on mobile. You can
Just like
see,
the text.
yeah, just like the text. And then she's grayed out. And if I still have, I think, my preview somewhere, yeah. If I reload my preview, you see we start with the mobile text. So she disappeared.
You can literally customize anything at that. I mean,
Yeah, you
you
can
can make almost a
customize.
whole different experience on mobile if you wanted to.
Exactly, you could have a page completely different. So as long as you have the discipline, let's say, to remember what you did,
Yeah.
obviously you can preview it, but you can serve a page which is different. It makes sense to tweak some stuff, like for instance, when you go in the footer, we'll do the footer. Also, when you go in the footer and you've got some text that's aligned on the left on desktop, but you want to keep it center on mobile because there's no reason to put it left on
Right.
on mobile. So then you will tweak the position for mobile. You know, this type of stuff. So
Makes
we
sense.
did that. Next on the agenda, and I think that we'll finish with that. Otherwise, we will rush for today. We'll finish with the header and the footer. So
Okay.
header and footer. Okay, so let's come back to the admin of WordPress. Okay, that's nothing important. Okay, let's come back. You see, even the W was replaced by a logo there.
Yeah.
So, okay, so maybe first, let's close this so we understand where we are at the moment. So at the moment, we have a default header, which is your name, the name of that you gave to the site, and the placeholder tagline that you chose for the site. That's the default. That's what you get by default in the theme. And I guess that you also have a default footer here. But if you go on any website, and I guess also on your current website, you've got, it's a big one there, but you've got some kind of a custom footer here, okay, with your icons, blah, blah. And you've got the back to top. And you've got, obviously, a custom header that's the same on all pages. So you want to replicate something like this on this website. So the way you do that, you go to template. That's where you would put all the template. Theme builder. Okay. And here we can create a lot of different templates. We will use that a lot once we reach the point of creating custom post type, for instance.
Okay.
Or archive pages, search result pages, all that stuff, as you can see. But now we will do header and footer, simple ones. I mean, I won't go into the detail, but just to show that we can display a new header, a new footer. And after the call, we'll probably tweak it. So you can also choose one of those templates, but I would do it. I would close the library and do it from scratch. So from scratch, I've got nothing, and it all takes place here at the top. So the first thing I would do is set a structure for my header. I will set a simple structure. I will choose this one, for instance. Okay, so this one.
Okay.
There will be a section on the left and a big section on the right. Let's say that we want to have it full width. So the first thing, I go here in the middle of the section. I go to the content section, do full width. So as you see now, it expanded here. Okay. Next, I will add the logo, like here. Two ways to do it. Either you add the site logo, but there's no logo at the moment, so we will just set it, or you can also use an image. Difference is that if you use site logo as a module, by default, you will have this link to the site URL, which is the expected behavior. When you click on the logo, you go back to the home page.
Right.
So it's set in the module, but we have to change the site logo. So we already have the Favicon. We can do the site logo. I will follow their recommendation, but I will double it. I will do 700 by 200. So I will go here in Canva. I will resize this to 700 by 200, and I will copy and resize to have a new one. Okay. It might not be the best example for the logo, because if you want to have a logo on your website, I would suggest to use all the available real estate if it's a rectangle. So
Yeah.
let's
I
say
have a
that,
couple options I could
yeah,
use too.
I create a logo just for now, just to show that we can use the full thing. And we'll change it later, but ungroup. Okay, so let's do Rachel, just to show some text there. Okay, Rachel Sarah. And we'll make it bigger. Okay, we can even put it there. Okay, just put it there. Yeah, but that's not the best thing we can do. Okay, let's do something like this. And maybe, yeah, just change this so that we don't have the same. We just put a dog here. Like a dog. Little puppy there. Beautiful.
Oh, you know me well.
Magnificent design work here, as you can see.
There you go.
Okay, so I would call it Rachel Futsaro logo header. Okay, and then I just download this guy. Could be you could have a transparent PNG if you wanted to play with on a transparent background, but I will use it in white at the moment. Or you know what? Okay, let's do it super custom. Let's do it transparent. Okay, let's do it transparent. Okay, transparent. There we go. So header. So we have to choose the image. We don't have any image at the moment, so we'll upload an image, and it will also demo adding the alt, theoretically. Yes, as you can see, it added the alt using the name of the file.
Automatically, yeah.
You see? So that's why the name of the file has to be...
Do we need to edit the caption and description right there as well?
No.
Okay.
Caption is when you want to, as the name implies, have a caption for the image on the page, you know, but you don't need that. Okay, so now we have this. Yeah, probably it didn't refresh, so I will refresh the whole page so we see this logo appearing there.
Oh, cute.
As you can see, it appears also in the default footer, but we will have a custom footer in a moment.
Yeah.
So now let me, it's on the site settings. So let me go back to my my editing thing. Okay, fine. Okay, so now I'm back there. So now, as you can see, we have the logo there. I would probably add some padding around this because otherwise it's really stuck to the side of the site. So I can add some padding via advanced. So you can have padding or margin. Margin is outside of the box. Padding, it's inside of the box.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So and you can set all of them. You see, like 30 all around inside of the box. Let's put it inside of the box, so to have some internal, I would say internal margin being the padding in a way. And let's just put this all over the place. So entire site, that would be the new header. So now if I go back, because I think we had a preview somewhere, like here. Boom. we have this there. Okay, this at the top. You see, full there. Might be a bit too big, obviously.
But that's easy to change the size and.
Yeah, that's quite easy. I mean, just go there, for instance, and say you want to have it maximum, let's say 300 pixels, for instance. And also you want to have it obviously on the left.
Yeah.
But as I showed you, if you want to have it on center on mobile, they just center it on mobile like this, you see. And you might just wonder, how do I add my menu there on the right-hand side? Usually, you know, all the links of your site.
Right.
It would be easier when those links would be created,
The pages.
when they will exist, when the pages will be available. But we will add one just for the demo. So I would just go through this. If I go to menu here, it's also in the sidebar, but if I go to menu, there's no menu at the moment assigned at the top. So we usually, what we do is we create a menu called top menu. We say in the header, for instance, and there we can have different elements. I would just add a custom link, and I will add the link to your legacy website. I mean, the future legacy website.
Yeah.
Here. Okay. And I will say legacy site, and then I will add a link to my own website. CMF. Okay. And you can move those around, you see. And you can also add, let's say that you want to add a direct link to partner sites, for instance. But you want to create like a tab in the menu with no link behind the tab, but links under the tab, if you want, like subsections. What you do then is just put a hashtag there for the URL, so there won't be any link, but you give it a name, like partner sites, for instance, or our friends, like this. You add it to the menu, just put it there, and then you indent those two there.
That's so funny because in Squarespace, it's like you can't edit it at that level at all, and it's harder to add these and make them custom. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you do this, and then if we come back to the site now, okay, we first have to add the menu. So I will just refresh because it was not available in the database before. So now, if I add the menu, boom, you see we've got it.
Cute.
Okay, and we can just align it right like this.
Oh, okay.
And let's say, just for this demo, we will add a last one. We say, okay, but I want to have my menu, but on the right of my menu, I want to have a big CTA button for my contact page all the time, for instance.
Right.
So first of all, because we don't need so much space, we just remove some of this there by dragging this. So you can change. Basically, you see it's 100% together, but if we move them, it redefines the proportions of the 100%, as you can see. So if I add a new column, okay, I would just make it, let's say, 15% by default, something like that, or maybe 20% like that. Okay, and here I will add a button. First, let me just align everything in the center here. So I do to my section, and I go to vertical align, and I do middle. Then you can see you've got Rachel Futsaro, the logo with a cute puppy, and then you've got here those things there. Okay, and imagine you don't like this underlining pointer. You can go here and say, I don't want any pointer. So you would just have this, and if you you've got this, and then you say, I don't like this gray background when I hover on something. You go to drop down, and you say, because by default there's no color set, but you just say, okay, I want transparent background on over. I want everything transparent there for the background. So now you see, boom, it's better. It's better. But you see there's a problem with the over color here. It becomes white. So what you do there is you set it, and then say, for instance, you set it to accent. You see?
I like that better. Yeah, because then it shows clearly that you're clicking it and it's not disappearing.
Yeah, that's nice. And obviously you can also say for the main menu, okay, what is the color on over? That's the one. And the active color, if it's active, if it's, you've got multiple ones, that's the active one. You can set it also on the accent, for instance. So you really have control to everything. You have also control the space between the elements if you've got multiple elements, etc. So we will add just the button and then move to finish the session to the footer. So the button. So we just take a button. Okay, let's put a button there. Okay, and we call it Contact Us. The page doesn't exist yet, but let's pretend it does. So here that would be the link to the page if it existed. So there won't be anything at the moment. So we just put a hashtag. We center it. We can make it larger. Okay, like that. So let's have a look on mobile. As you can see, it's there. It's nice. All fine.
Yeah.
And we can also do something. If we go on style, hover animation, let's grow. So if you do this, boom, you see it grows.
I like that.
Which is kind of cool. And you could say that the color of the background when you hover is, I mean, just to test it, but it's green.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
You see, like that.
So there's literally, you can do anything.
Yeah,
so cool.
it's pretty cool. But you could do something a bit more fancy, like I don't know, like something like that.
Yeah.
Instead of
pink.
green.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, if it's a bit too small, might be a bit too small for the style, you can also change the typography of this. Let's say, no, that's too big. 1.25 maybe, or 1.15 EM.
I like that.
Okay. And so imagine that we will have other elements coming here. So that's where the control of the breakpoints is important, because at some point you might need to say, okay, when do I want to break to see the toggle button for mobile? As you can see, it breaks for tablet. Obviously, it's there for mobile, but you can change the breakpoints later. And also you can change if it's too small, this thing, especially for, let's say, older people who have puppies and they have big fingers, and say, oh, it's too small, this toggle button. You can change the size of the toggle button. Usually I do that for most of the clients. I make it bigger because then it's easier to click with your finger on mobile.
Okay, that makes sense.
To see that, and then you get that, and yeah.
That's
So
cool.
let's put it to 30. So now we have the menu, which is like that. So if I go back to anywhere, like the site, now you see we've got this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting there. And the last bit I wanted to change, I mean, that's a big page, but yeah, you know what? For the demo first, if you don't mind, I will remove this. I will create a new page, which will be smaller, so that we can just have a smaller page. So again, you can start by creating a page, and when you have the first draft, then move to Elementor to create it.
Okay.
So this will be an empty page, completely empty. And as you can see now, we still have the same stuff for the footer. We'll change it in a moment. So if you remember, I changed this to Elementor full width to remove the backend title. So now we are blank canvas. Now we can start creating sections. So I will create a section with 2 different elements. On the left-hand side, I put an image, for instance, of one of the images we have here, like the lady there. And it might not be the best one. Let's try to see. Don't we have like a squarish one, something that takes less space, like this? And here I put a title, and as we can see, it's the default that we have.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Color and font and all that.
Welcome to my website. And what we can do if we want is set this to vertical align middle so that it's there like this. We can put this guy also in the middle like this. And usually what I do here, I go 1200 like this. That's usually what I do, but I mean, we can do whatever we want. So if we go on mobile, as we can see, we have this like this. So it's there.
Oh, nice.
So I just published this, and I will change, if you remember well, here in the setting, reading, I can change my home page, okay, and I can go to this new page, so that now if we do all the demo for the next session, we can just show, oh, and obviously it didn't do it. Yeah,
There you go.
did it?
Oh, okay. So it's smaller, it's shorter page.
Yeah, it's easier to show the footer that we'll get in a moment. So now we get to the footer. Okay, and that will be the last part for today. The footer, team builder, again, same concept, footer. We add a footer. We just take also a custom footer. We can have multiple columns here, because usually, you have multiple columns. So we take 3 columns. We just do also full width if we want. It could be box. Box, it means that by default there are two side sections empty on the website. But if I went full width for the top, I would go full width for here, and I will also set 30 padding inside like that. And here I would just put some text, and I would say. I never know. Do you know the shortcut for the copyright on mobile? I don't.
No, I don't.
You know, usually what I do, I'm so lazy, I should learn it, but I go to a website. I go to Google, and I just copy it from the Wikipedia page. So I do it again. But I promise I will know it for next time. Okay, so
I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay, that way. Okay, let's say that we won't fill all of them out today, but let's say we want to go social icon, and we put them there. Okay. And let's say we want to get circles, and we want to get 3. No, sorry, auto. And what did I want to do? Yes, style, and say we want to get them on brand. We don't want to have like a Christmas tree like that. So
maybe during the holidays.
You see, boom, like this. Now they are all the color that we picked in a way.
That's so cool.
And okay, and you could obviously set, we won't do it because it would take a bit of time, but you set your different URLs there. And because you are also on Instagram, you want to duplicate this icon library, you just choose Instagram. Okay, so it adds, you see Instagram there. Very easy.
That's very cool.
And you can probably space them out like that, you see, boom, like this. And if you go on mobile now, you see they are there.
Yeah.
And this one is justified left, but I could justify it center on mobile. You see, little icon mobile specifically. That's better. You see, because you don't need to be justified left and right on mobile. So now we have the basic footer. Obviously, we could also put some background color behind it if we want it. So let's say we want a very light gray to make it a bit, different. That would just be design stuff. But I publish it, and I say across the entire site. You could have different footers for different pages, but I never do it. It's always the same, you see. Now, if I go back to the home page, and if I refresh everything, boom, we've got a footer with the icons, the lady there, and maybe to show how you can just avoid to have the page stuck to the footer. You see now you can edit either the header, the footer, or the page. Edit with Elementor, it edits the page where you are. So I edit the page, I go to the section where I've got the lady. First thing I could do is just add some padding around her. So you see, she's like that, it's better. I could also say, oh, I want to have a box shadow around her. You see, like the whole thing. but that's details. Okay, so remove the box shadow. And here, section, advanced, and I want some margin up and down, down, mostly down. So I do 100 of margin down. So if I do this, it's both 100, for instance. But if I unclick this, I remove this guy here, okay, it will be 100 under it. And usually what I do to make sure that everything, is not stuck to the header, in the header, directly in the header, by default, so on the section of the header, I would put some margin bottom of, let's say, 50, so that we are sure that each page isn't stuck to the header. But that's a personal choice. You don't have to do that. So now, if I refresh this page, you see we have some margin under it. We have the margin at the top, and if we just go on mobile, you see it's mobile responsive.
I like that.
That's it.
Looking professional, looking good already, even though this is just the demo part.
Yeah, we did quite a lot of work today. So to recap what we did, probably it would be worth having some. Let's stop that. To have some sections in the video. I would probably do that on YouTube. But what we did was enable the plugin auto updates, replace the icon in the top bar of the website. We also installed some custom fonts, defined the custom colors of the website, and created the header and the footer for the website. That was a lot for today.
We did a lot, but I think like even just that, what we just went through, like you could get a really good start on a website from scratch. Like that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think here at least people have understood, I guess, how to use the very basic components of Elementor. Now you could start even with this. I would say this page that we started from scratch. You could start adding your own sections. That would be a nice exercise that you could do and see how you can understand how to move the elements around. Create a section, for instance, with 3 columns with the services that you're offering, for instance, another section where you invert the headline and an image. You could start playing around with that. That would probably be the exercise I would give you for next week, and I will help you on Discord. And next week we will move to the structure of the site to replicate what you have on your current website and add the first proper content to the site, I think.
Ooh, so we're really going to see it come to life, start to at least next week. That's exciting. And next time we meet. Yes.
And as I said in the beginning, probably to reach the point where we are both happy with the site and we can push it to production, that would be probably 20 sessions in total. So we are at 10% of the journey.
20 sessions. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm
there you have the Rolls-Royce or the Aston Martin of website. I mean,
the Aston Martin. Okay, you guys heard it here. The Aston Martin of websites.
I mean, remember, I'm in London.
I'm here for it. I know. Yeah, you are.
Otherwise, I would have said the Tesla of websites, but Aston Martin is something else. Thank you so much, everyone, for your attention. Remember that yes, we have some direct links for you if you want to see what Rachel is about. This is the link to our website that will change in the future, rachelfutsaro.com. She's obviously on YouTube, TikTok, and other places. You can also find me on callmefred.com, where I write a lot about a lot of stuff. I just invite you to discover what I'm writing about there. And remember that we use Cloudways for the hosting and Elementor for this website. Thank you very much for your attention. We'll be back next week, probably approximately the same time, for the 3rd session of the journey where we build together the new website of Rachel Futsaro.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Rachel.
Bye.
Bye-bye.